David Grusch and Charles McCollough address the Soul Foundation. So let's talk about it. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, let's just get right into it. David Grusch couldn't be there in person, but he did address the Soul Foundation this weekend via Zoom. So let's go over his key comments as recorded by the Juan. And again, hat tip to the Juan for bringing this to us. Really appreciate it. David Grusch says, imagine a future where we no longer need to speculate about our place in the cosmos. Intriguing. All right. I like it. I like it. The release of info on NHI, non-human intelligence, has the potential to unite humanity, regardless of the ontological shock that would ensue. So for all those people saying ripping the Band-Aid off too soon would destroy society, David Grusch is saying that's not the case. Actually, despite, the unrest it might cause, it will actually ultimately bring people together. So that's a very encouraging word, encouraging thought, echoes of, Ronald Reagan and other people who have said similar things, uniting the world. Disclosure will involve the releasing of information in a controlled and planned manner. So now we're talking about ripping the Band-Aid off a little slower, tugging that Band-Aid off gently, but still releasing it, and again, in a very controlled way. So was his coming out part of that controlled way? Was it part of the disclosure process? Or is it the thing that began the disclosure process, and now we can have a more controlled disclosure process unfolding beginning in January per Carl Nell? Or has the disclosure process begun long ago? Did it begin with Lou Elizondo coming out? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I think that Lou Elizondo and David Grusch were not planned. They just happened, but now there is a plan, and they have been developing a plan amongst themselves. Lou has alluded to this, and he says, well, we're shifting gears into the second gear now. And that was a year or two ago. So, and part of that was engaging the international community. And maybe we have entered the third gear now. Okay, so this is a new era of spiritual awakening. I think that is key. I have talked numerous times about the metaphysical aspects of the UFO phenomenon. I was an atheist all my life until 2017 when Lou Elizondo came out of the closet with those 3 videos and changed the world. And my research into UFOs at that time, my obsessive research into UFOs at that time, led me to spirituality, believe it or not. And because that's where it goes. There's a huge crossover with the metaphysical / spiritual / consciousness, whatever you want to call it. 1/3 of all alien abductees are near-death experiencers. People who have died, their hearts have stopped, their brains are dead, gone to the other side, and come back. That's crazy. And there are so many other crossovers between the alien and the metaphysical. People that are abducted talk about being taken to other dimensions, a deeper level of reality, according to Deep Prasad and Whitley Strieber and many others. So there's a huge dimensional, metaphysical, spiritual aspect to all of this. And that seems to be what David Grusch is alluding to. And I love it. I can't wait to see where it goes and what they know. What are they going to reveal about the nature of the uber reality, right? About the different dimensions and stuff. Love it. Love it. We are in a paradigm shift with the power in our hands to transform our world. Okay, I like that. We are working towards a more enlightened and interconnected world. Okay, all right. Well, I guess that's kind of a good thing. I mean, it's definitely a good thing to be enlightened, interconnected. I don't want, different parts of the world to lose their individuality. That is one thing about a lot of the beings and the phenomenon in general. they're, kind of makes me scratch my head. They do have a more communal aspect to them, the Greys and some of the others, and less individualistic. Seems like you may lose your individuality in these more communal hive mind, communities, and that does kind of make me a little leery, honestly. So hopefully we can do this in a way where we don't lose our individuality. But anyway, I guess we'll get there when we get there. We are a long ways from there. All right, so that was the end of David Grusch's presentation, at least that we know of. But his legal counsel and former Inspector General Charles McCollough had some words. Okay, he had a fireside chat with Peter Skafish that took place on day 2. And McCollough is also the legal counsel for the Soul Foundation. So yeah, he's a pretty important cat in all this, right? Reasons that McCollough took on the Grusch case: there is a clear oversight issue element with it. Everyone has a right to be heard. He said that not everyone will like this statement. Being a whistleblower doesn't mean talking to the media. Yeah, darn it. There is a clear issue with USG overclassification of data. Now, I really like that one. Apparently they're classifying stuff that does not need to be classified simply for the purpose of keeping it from us. And Charles McCollough, Inspector General of the Pentagon, former Inspector General, is talking about this. So that's huge. That's huge. An IC phrase that he said multiple times that pertains to the Grusch complaint: you don't know what you don't know. You can't have government and a country if everything becomes declassified. Some form of secrecy is needed. Well, sure, you can't give away the nuclear secrets and stuff like that. Obviously there are classification levels for a reason. You don't want your enemies to know what you're doing necessarily. But obviously too much is too much, and he's making that distinction, and I appreciate that. Regarding the Schumer U.A.P. legislation, it is extremely well written by Carl Nell, in parentheses. I don't know if that's confirmed or not. Did Carl Nell really write some or all of the Schumer rounds amendment? I don't know. That's intriguing. If the author of the UFO Disclosure Act, who presented the UFO disclosure plan at the Soul Foundation, could possibly be leading Arrow in the near future. That would be really interesting. Regarding the Schumer legislation, it is extremely well written. It will work, but will it pass? I am not sure. There should be contingency plans in place. We've heard a lot about contingency plans and plans upon plans, and if they don't do this, we're going to release that. So far, they haven't done a lot, and nobody's released anything, so, who knows? Who knows, but, it is early days yet, and as impatient as I am for something to happen, gotta be a little more patient. I mean, the Schumer Rounds Act, hasn't even had a chance to pass yet, so I need to take a breath and wait for that to happen. In his experience, just because a legislation passes similar to the Schumer UAP Act, that doesn't mean that parties, agencies affected by it will actually abide by it. Well, we've seen that with Arrow. The legislation creating Arrow is actually really strong. The language in it is really good. But the people running Arrow did not abide by it. So Charles is warning us that could happen here. And that's a great point. Unfortunately. But the UFO control group does not want this stuff to come out, and they are putting their people in charge of disclosure, right? The potential passing of the Schumer bill will be just the start. Many legal battles will be fought after in order to actually get the UAP reverse engineering tech out into the open. Wow, that's an exciting thought, isn't it? That the tech could come out. I mean, are we talking anti-gravity? Could that come out? Time manipulation? Potential healing abilities? All sorts of crazy tech conceivably could come out. I mean, I can't imagine that some of that would actually come out, but some limited Tinker Toy version of it could come out. That's exciting. That's exciting. If the Schumer UAP bill doesn't pass, don't get depressed. There are other people in the Soul Foundation pushing disclosure forward via different means. Okay, Charles, tell us what those other means are. What if the Schumer Rounds amendment doesn't pass? What do you think their next step is? Is it the Select Committee in the House of Representatives? Is it field hearings? Is it releasing or leaking videos? Or do they have an alien that's going to come out and wave at the camera for us? What is their contingency plan? Let me know what you think. And let me know what you think about David and Charles's comments at the Soul Foundation in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in an even bigger way, please consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt. See the merch store below. Or you can become a channel member, because channel members are rock stars. And I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel. And see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.